Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to make a project out of this new paper collection that we just got in today. It's from Art Options and it's called Alina. This is 12 by 12, and I'll just flip through quickly and show you some of the pretties in here. So this is the back of the front one. You can use all of these cutouts. Look at these pages. You know I love it because it's got teal in it. Look at that. Teal and butterflies. And I think we have most of the collection of this. I can't remember what all pieces come in, but we have more than just this. I think we have the ephemera and maybe the washi. Don't remember. But you guys, I'll leave you a link below and you can go check it out. This is a good quality, thick paper too. It's not thin. And this one. Now it's one of each design. Let's see. Yeah, one of each design, 8 total papers. But like I said, they're very thick, so they're a good quality. But we're going to make something out of one of these today. I hope it's not too thick, because I wanted to make a project with you guys. So let's go ahead and choose which page we're going to use. And I'm thinking this one. Kind of like that. And I need one that has some of the images over on the right hand side. So I think I'm going to try to use that one. Lay some of this aside. Now I want to cut this piece to 8 inches. I do believe. Let me make sure that I'm cutting it the right way. Yes, we're going to cut it to 8 inches. Oh, I want this side. Never mind. Let me flip that around. See, I almost messed up. Alright, we want this side, so we're going to cut the 8 inches off of this. And we're cutting it the up and down way. The up and down way. Now we're going to grab our large scoreboard. And where are we going to score? 2 3/4. I'm going to lay this one out and see where I scored. This is a different style of pocket. Okay, I scored at 2, 2.5, 5, and then at 7.5. Alright, so let's do that. 2.5. Oh, we need to cut the bottom off. We don't need it that long. You need to cut it this way, the size of your page, your journaling page. So mine is 8 inches, so I'm going to cut mine at 8. But you need to measure your journal page and just see what size you need to cut yours. So I'm going to cut 4 inches off of mine. So now I have a piece that is 8 by 8. And I'm hoping that's right. 8. Let's see. Well, I probably cut it a little bit short, but we're going to go with that. Okay. So first you're going to score at 2.5. We can always make more if I cut this one a little wrong. Then score at 5. And then score at 7.5. Now this is a thick paper, so I'm just going to go back over those score lines. And then I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to go over the score lines from the back side. This helps keep your paper from cracking. It doesn't always prevent it, but it helps a lot. Alright, let's go ahead and do some folding. Because I knew as thick as this paper is, I felt like I'd have some cracking. Also, when you fold, just fold easily in the beginning, and then you can do your burnishing later on. Don't try to burnish it so hard down right now. Okay, looks like I'm pretty good so far. Okay, now this right here is actually going to be a 3-stack pocket. I'll show you how that's going to work. And the reason I said I think I cut it a little bit too short is because most of my, let me grab a sheet. This is just like a journal sheet right here. Most of my sheets, or my journal pages, are 8.5. So see, I should have cut it at 8.5 tall, but that's still going to be okay. You can still use it. It's not a problem. I just slung some things in the floor when I pulled that off. Now we need to divide this so that we can have 3 stacked pockets on here, and they're going to flip out and in. Leave this little tab on there. I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a minute. So since this is 8 inches, then we should be able to do 2.5. Okay, so what we're going to do, this one's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to mark, but I'm just dividing this. So I think if I do 2 5/8, then I'm just going to move my ruler down. That keeps me from having to add. And then do 2 5/8. And I think I should have 2 5/8 at the end. And I do, 2 5/8. So if you're wondering what a third of 8 inches is, it's 2 5/8, 2 5/8, and 2 5/8. So that's how we're going to put our little score lines. Now you don't have to put a score line here if you don't want to. I put it in because it's easier for me to see that and to go ahead and cut it, but you don't have to. So 2 5/8 is right there. And this is going to be, let's see if we can just turn it around and do it this way. 2 5/8. Yeah, I don't have to go through so many layers. 2 5/8. And looks like our other one is right there. And it does, the pockets don't have to be perfectly the same size. That doesn't matter. I was just trying to even it up as best I could. Now what we're going to do, and you can put this back in your trimmer if you want. I am just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up to that other score line right there. Now don't go over it, just kind of cut up to it. And that's why you may want to put yours back in your trimmer. See, I went over there. My scissors decided to grab real quick, but we'll fix it. Not a problem. This is just the second one that I've made, so if you have scissors that are good and sharp on the end, it makes it a lot better that you can just put them there and snip it. But mine seem to all be kind of dull on the very end. Now we're going to cut that score line out. It'll be where these will flip a lot easier if that score line is out and they're not rubbing together. So just give it a little cut. And an X-Acto knife would probably be good for this too, because that might keep you from slipping like I did. This is like I said, a very thick paper, so that's one of the reasons that I slipped. Okay, we're going to cut a little bit off of this one, just that score line out. And I'm going to cut right across there, just so hopefully I won't go past that. I probably should have started this with a thinner paper, looks like. This stuff is thick. Okay. I'm just going to kind of straighten up a little of these. Make it look a little bit nicer. Now we have 3 pockets, and I'm not going to worry about that little bitty bit of white there because I can always color that over with some glue. And I leave these little pieces on there because they'll make your pocket larger. If you just cut that off and glue your pocket straight down on this side, it's going to make your pocket flat, and you're going to have more room over here than you are over here. So leave that little piece on there and glue it at the very back. Glue it way back there. Well, come on, glue. Just because I left you open a little while, is that a problem with you? Okay. Now I'm going to put that down because your tag, I'll show you when this gets glued a little bit. Your tag is actually going to sit in there. So say you've got a full pocket now. Whereas if you had glued this side down, this would be clenched together like that. Okay. Glue all three. And you can make these really little if you want. You don't have to make them as large as I'm making mine. You can make them smaller if you want to. Up to you. Okay. So there is our 3-stack pocket, and then this is going to be glued down to the page here, here, and here on the edge of the page. And then this will be a tuck. So let's grab that page back again. So we would glue this down with that score line running right down the edge of the page. We'll have a tuck here, so just glue here, here, and here. Have your little tuck there. And then these are going to be like this. These are going to be your flip pockets. Now, you do need to go ahead and glue your bottom together. So glue that bottom a little bit. I just run a little bit of glue on the bottom part. You could have done this while you was closing the side. It doesn't matter. I usually remember it after the fact. Okay. Now you have those closed up except at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and punch a little pull right here. And I'm going to use my I think it's a 2-inch. Is it 2-inch? Yes. 2-inch oval punch to do this. Okay. Then in the top of these, now here again, you could have done this before you close this up, but I'm just going to put these in there now. I think it'll be fine. Hopefully. Maybe I can get it in there. Yeah. Okay. We're going to stick it up there just a little bit. And punch. Well, that didn't punch. Okay, I just want a little pull like that, not much. Stick it in this one. This is a 1-inch punch. Another one. Then I got that one a little larger. So let's go back and do this one a little larger. They don't have to be exact. It's hard for me to see how far I'm going up this way. I usually punch with my punches upside down. Okay. Let's take a little bit more out of this top one here. Okay. So there are our pockets. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do to keep these pockets closed, because if this is glued down, these pockets are going to be a little bit flappy, aren't they? So let's close these up. Let me grab some paper. Now I'm going to use some little index cards for the backing on my tags. I just want to back them so that they'll be a little bit stronger. And I've got plenty of index cards, so that's the perfect thing for me to use. But you don't have to use these. Use just a nice thick paper. And sorry if my voice keeps coming and going. I'm still having allergy issues. The pollen count here was very, very high the last couple of days. And then all this dust that we're dealing with. And it's got my throat. Okay, let's do another here. And someone said you need to wear a mask when you're cleaning or dusting or anything like that. I do. It's just that I have very sensitive, I guess, throat and lungs, because I do have a lot of allergies. Now we're going to make sure that these fit before we go any further. Looks like it's going to fit. Yep. And yes. Okay. So we're going to make 3 tags. And I'm actually going to do my tags out of the back of this paper. I know I could do it out of the front. That's really pretty, but it would blend too much with this. So we're just going to glue this down on the back side, which would be this side, Edith. See, I almost confused myself, didn't I? By using these little index cards, they have the lines on there, so that makes it easy. Okay, let me cut these out, and then I'll show you how we're going to hold all this together. All right, there are 3 tags, and we're going to decorate these up a little bit, but right now I'm just going to cut them into a tag shape, and I will probably stitch around mine, but as I say all the time, you don't have to do that. Now, we'll put this bottom tag in. And see, it's going to hold that page closed with that bottom tag in there. It's going to hold that page down. We'll put this one in here, and it will hold that page down. And then you can put this one, or that pocket down. I said page, I think. Put this one in here, and that one, I think I might have got that one a little bit tall. We may cut that one off. So all 3 of them will still move. They'll still open up like this, but when they're down like this, the tag is going to hold the one on top of it closed. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And usually if you burnish it real well, you're not going to have a big problem with it anyway, but I just thought I would show you how you can do that. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and ink these, and I'll do a little bit of embellishing to them. I'm not going to do a lot. Not until I decide what journal I'm going to put them in. But I'll do a little. Alright, you know that I always like to come in with some book page. So we're going to do a little bit of book page on this side. Glue that down there. Then we'll add another piece. Okay. And one more. Let's see. I think we have one here that will work. We don't have to cut another one out. Okay, let's just use that down through there. It's actually torn and ragged, but that's okay. I just re-inked my ink pad, and yes, I did smush it down in there. Somebody told me when you re-ink your ink pad, you're supposed to smush it down in. I did. It's just that I put a lot of ink on mine because I leave mine open so much that I put quite a bit of ink on there so that I can let it sit overnight and it'll be good tomorrow. Right, so that is that. Then, let's see, what about, what if we put a little birdie on these? Like that, maybe? And maybe that one. And then that one. That's a little long. Let's try another. That one will work. Well, that one's just like that one. I don't want to do that. Let's do, nope, too long. Come on, little guy. Too long. Got too big of a bill. Maybe this little baby. Yeah, that little baby will work. Okay. We'll put the birds down there. And I'm not going to ink around them. I think they look good the way they are, so let's don't ink on those. And now let's put a little label on there. Let's see, Nature's Beauty, maybe. I know these are not eagles, but let's put on eagle's wings. And then on this one, we'll put Full of Life. And those are some of Katie's labels. And hopefully, by next week, we'll be able to get some of her other labels up. She is on vacation right now, so she'll have to send them to me. But I think she said she had more, and these are probably included in those. She does a good job on labels. I like the wide labels sometimes when I'm doing something really big, but when I'm doing small things like this, I like the little narrow labels. They seem to go better on the project. Okay. And then, let's see, do I want to cut a little pokey hole in the top of them? I think I'll just put a little lace at the top instead of doing a pokey hole. Alright, I just pulled out a little handful of my scrap lace. This is just little pieces of scrap that I keep. When I get down to a little tiny piece, I always put those in a little bag and I keep them for things like this. That lace has got just a tiny bit of blue in it. Okay, there's one. Let's see what we want to put on the other one. It's just a little piece of vintage lace. And there's that one, and we just need one more. Let's see, maybe this. Yeah, that's a real vintage piece, so we'll use it. That's the last of that old vintage piece. I think I give that to me a while ago too. It's from one of you guys probably. And it's very, very old, you can tell. Okay. There we go. Now we'll start and put this one down here. That one right there. And that one right there at the top. And there you go with your little tags, your 3-tier flip out pockets. So see, they all 3 flip out. You can do journaling on here, and then when this is glued down to the page, you can put another tuck right there. So that is that one. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one. This is the one I started this morning. Now this paper is not quite as thick. Whoops, do you see me? I'm putting that on the wrong side. Don't put your glue on the bottom side, put it on the top side. Alright, so my little flap right there, and then I'm just going to close that over. And this is my, this was 8 by 8.5, but it scored the same way across as the other one was. It never fails. Doing a video, the mail lady came, UPS is at the door knocking. And you know, next my daughter will be texting. Well, there she is. There she is right now. She'll be texting me, and it's just the way my life goes. All right, so there we go. We've got that one done. I'll accept putting our little tags in there. And again, I didn't cut my little piece here at the top, so let's go ahead and do that. So make sure you do yours before you put it all together. It makes it a lot easier. You know me, I'm always forgetting something because I'm usually talking and I'm forgetting what I'm doing. Whoops. All right, there we go. Get those out of the way. So we've got those done, and now all we need to do is cut some tags to put in there. And again, I'm going to use these for the backing on this because they make your paper a little bit stronger, but not too strong, and they're perfect to go down in there. So we'll go ahead and glue the bottom of these together. FedEx, there now. You'll just have to leave it outside the door. Usually they come right on in the shop, but I've got the door locked, so he can't. Oh, most of the time I lock the door when I'm videoing because my desk is kind of in line with the door, and anybody who comes in, you can, I mean, they can see me right away and hear me and everything. And usually this time of day, we don't have too many customers that come by, which we don't have a lot of customers that come by anymore anyway because we're mainly just online. Our store went online when COVID started because my husband just we couldn't take a chance on him being infected at the time because he was so sick with his heart and kidneys and all the diseases that he had, so we couldn't take a chance on it. So we kind of just went off, you know, just strictly online, other than we do have a couple of locals that run by every now and then and pick up some things. They'll tell me what they want, and usually they'll just say, put it in the car or put it outside in a bag and I'll pick it up and leave your money. But most of the time now, you know, they come on in, but we're mainly just online. And for all of you new people who don't know anything about us, we do have an online store, and it is called Scrapbooking with Me. Even though the name is Scrapbooking, that was a name that was generated many years ago when we all did do scrapbooking. But now we're mainly crafts, Scrapbooking with Me crafts. So our store is always linked below the video, scrapbookingwithme.com. So you can go and check out what we have over on the store. And when I use product like this, I usually link that direct product in the description, so you can just go right over there and click on that link and pick it up. And if you're one of those who I get emails from all the time that says, I don't see any of your links. If you are on a computer, there's a little blue button down at the bottom that says show more. If you will click on that button, it will open up all of my drop downs, so you'll be able to click on those and see just exactly what we've got going. I promise you will. Ooh, I see I can't get rid of those butterflies there. Now see, this one you could just make a small one, and this is a lot like the pocket that we made on yesterday's video, I know, but I like the 3 stack or the 3 tier on this one. So let's see what we can cover these tags with. I may go ahead and cover them. We'll come back, do a little bit of decorating, and put this together. Now I just used a scrap that I had in my stash of Betty's collection, and this is Ledger and Lace, and it's from Betty, one of our designers, and her link will be below the video. Okay, let's go ahead and try these, and I think they're going to work fine. May have to cut them off just a tiny bit because that's going to stick out the top of my journal, but I may just cut that top one off. But that's how that's going to look. Isn't that cute? I just love these. Now, you see how this is kind of sticking up just a little bit? If you have a bone folder or a good, I don't know, you can probably, I can't use my scissors, but some people say they use their scissors. Anything that has that flat edge on it that you can really get down and press on that score line. See how that makes that lay down? That's all you need to do. And then we have our little tuck here. So we'll put it on our page. We'll pretend this is our page. We'll put it on our page like this, and it will fit because it's the right size. You'll have your tuck here, glue there, there, and there. And then you have your 3-tier little pockets. And when you open all 3 of them up, and you start to close the bottom one, if you want to close all of them, just push on the bottom one and all 3 of them will close. Or you can open them up separately like that. Any way that you want. I just wanted to show you how to do these. Again, this come to my mind in the middle of the night. So it was one of those things that I had to get up and do it, or I wouldn't get it off my mind. And I don't sleep anyway, so if I don't get up and do what's on my mind, then I really have a hard time. I cut that one off just a little bit because we don't want it to stick out too much. That'll work. Okay. And I'm going to put, I'll decorate these just a little. I'm not going to decorate them much. And then I'll put a little bit of lace at the top like I did this and stitch around them, put them back in there, and they're ready for my journals. Alright guys, that is it for this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions on just a really quick tips and tricks video that you would like for me to do, something that you don't know how to do that's just, you know, every day to some of us that have been crafting for 25 years, but for some new people, they might not know just the smallest, simplest little thing. So if you want a suggestion, you want to give me a suggestion of some video that I could do just with a few tips and tricks, you can leave that in the comments below. And leave a comment anyway letting me know how you're doing. We will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have a $600 giveaway coming up. All you have to do is be a subscriber. We're not going to contact you unless you win. Then we'll contact you. But we're not going to contact you or blow you away with emails or anything like that. This is just a stipulation that we put into play for people is just be a subscriber and you're automatically entered for the giveaway. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.